Being Broadtail is brought to you by CPJ, distributors of Grey Goose Essences, the Harry J Recording Studio, Broad Axe Communications, 1010 Events and Rentals, and Morgan's Creek. Hey everyone, I'm Dania Beckford. Bold, sometimes brash, and since I'm the CEO of Broadtail Design, I consider myself Broadtail beautiful. It's time we make the conversations we have as women open, honest, and authentic as we navigate living our best lives. Join me as I have intimate conversations with women of all sizes, shapes, and confidence levels as we explore being Broadtail. Hi, my Broadtails. Welcome to another episode of Being Broadtail. This week, we're with a trend-setting woman. First plus-size woman to be crowned Jamaica Festival Queen, making her hometown and parish of St. Elizabeth proud. As she thrusts herself in her new role as cultural ambassador and role model to many young girls and women, she's ready to share for the very first time how navigating this space as a fuller-figured woman has been. You know how we do. We start off the weekends with authentic conversations and strong spirits, and we're ready to do just that with Omolora Wilson. Hi, Omi.
Hi, Dania. How are you?
I am very good, and I'm very happy to hear you calling me Dania because a pure Missia called me, you know. And I mean, I know the Broadtail turned 40 this year, but you just have missed me down, though. You just have missed me down.
I'm trying, man.
Well, you're also a graduate, and you did over 18 from before. And a little birdie told me that you like strawberries and that you also like vodka, and we love that because we have our friends from CPJ. Mm-hmm. They have given us Grey Goose Essences. Okay. And we have many flavors to try. And this week we're going to try the strawberry flavor. Okay. So I made you a cocktail, right? I started it off. It has 1 part Grey Goose, 1.5 parts tonic water, 1.5 parts soda, and then I just put a little strawberry in there because I want it to look nice.
Right.
And I also have some rosemary in there because we want a little kick, you know?
Okay.
So, you ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah, because my channel my bartender lifestyle. Okay. Yes. I have to work on the pouring as a bartender. So that if this no work out for me in a life,
you have something else for you.
Yeah, man, I have something to fall back on. Right. Okay. Here you go. I hope you love it. You have it?
Yes.
So we're gonna cheers. What's a way I give myself? Whole heap garnish. But yes, we're gonna cheers. We're gonna cheers to this authentic conversation, right?
Yes, of
and
course.
to whole heap confidence. Whoa. What's a way my rosemary hinder me from drink? Oh, I like it. Do you like it?
Okay, I can stand this. Yes.
Yes?
Yes. It's gonna work.
You thought it was gonna be too strong?
Yes, and you know.
No, girl. It's smooth.
We're gonna get little sips and good sips.
Well, let's talk about, first of all, how I met you.
Yes.
So I met you, it was a Soca Plus that is put on by I Love Soca. Mm-hmm. We were having a football match, a charity football match. And the UE Guild and some of you students came to the match. And then one Skillibeng song start playing. And all of them started the jumping movement on across the leg. And you were in the center of it. And I'm just like, what's a girl man? When we did a guy, you
have to try.
You know, you did go on with yourself, and then throughout that engagement, a number of persons came over to me and they're like, you know, the guild president from UE, she remind me just like you. But feel so she need for one Broadtail. I was coming near to Carnival launch.
Yes,
and a lot of persons were saying that I should consider you to be in my section, and I really did. But that's for another part of the conversation. Right. But as a whole, I know you. But you're from St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
We're in St. Elizabeth.
I'm from Newmarket, St. Elizabeth.
All right.
Yes.
I know Newmarket because my best friend, Tenny Gale, who also did my set, she is from St. Elizabeth, Newmarket.
Yes.
Whenever I flood out, though.
Yeah, that is true. We're working on it. We're working on it, you know. We have our boats and rafts ready just in case. But we're good. The thing about Newmarket people, we can swim.
Oh, right. Only can swim.
Always.
All right. Big up to Newmarket. So tell me about your early days growing up in St. Elizabeth. Were you always plus size?
I was, as long as I know myself, I've been a plus size girl. I've always been a bigger girl for my age. from as early as primary school days, actually, I've always been a bigger girl. Bigger than my classmates, bigger than those who are older than me in the setting, and just bigger than the typical child that is my age. I've always been a bigger girl. I'm the biggest in my family.
Oh, yes, I have 9 siblings.
I have
10
9
now.
siblings, it's 10 of us.
Wow. A whole
10
tribe.
Wilson people. And anytime there's a Wilson event, trust me, there's a lot of people coming out because just one family alone hold 10 children.
Right.
So I have 9 siblings, and out of my 9 siblings, I am the biggest one. I've always been the biggest one, if I'm going to be honest. And that has always been my experience. I love my siblings. I think they were the first persons to kind of bring it to my attention. I'm a little on the big side because
It be your family.
it will always be your family, you know? But it brought it to my attention. They used to mock me about it a little. They used to call me big and everything. And I think, they used to call me Yoki. So I talk about it all the time. I don't understand
What's
why.
Yoki?
Me no know. So how they do it is, my middle name is Neo.
Neo.
Yes, my parents were very fancy with my name.
Omolora,
Neo Wilson. Right. So my older sister rather, she said to my other siblings that Neo sound like yolk, so call her Yoki, like egg yolk. And as I grew up, I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, you could have got mayonnaise, you could have got everywhere you went to yolk, but then call me Yoki.
All right.
And, they would highlight it a lot. But at that point, it never really bothered me. I think it was just siblings being siblings, and I was okay with that.
Okay.
So in my early stage in life, I was just a big girl moving past. When I started primary school, I've always been a people person. I love people. I love to play. I love meeting new people. I love having conversations with people, and I've known that about me since I was little, in terms of age, not size.
Oh, okay.
So, I went into primary school, my sister saying to me, the same Yoki one. Bassi, I hope you watch this. Girl, me and you gonna have it all. But we went into primary school the basis that when I started primary school, I started very early, and I had locks. And
did you always have locks?
As long as I know myself, I've had locks.
Is your family
my entire family, the 12 of us, that's the 10 siblings, madam and father, we all have locks.
All right.
Yeah. So much that my brother cut the other day and we lock it back for him. So you understand.
Okay, just lock it up back.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've always had locks. And my sister said to me when I was just about to start primary school, so basically primary school start on Monday. She probably said it's something like the Friday. So you need to cut your hair because people at primary school, they don't like Rasta. You're not going to make no friend. I was like, you're too lie. I said, girl, you're like, me not have no locks. And I cut my hair. I went to my father and I begged him. No, I begged my father. And I guess he was just a little bit annoyed by the amount of time I begged him. He just cut it all off. Okay. And right after that, my sister got lock her hair. You hear? For sure, you say, Bassi,
you and that sister
have it
here.
all for you. But she locked her hair and everything. And then since I know myself, we just have our locks.
Okay.
When I started primary school, I was always a big girl. And again, nobody kind of brought it to my attention at an early age. So, yeah, I've been big.
Okay. And how has it been throughout primary school? Was it that you were participating in everything? Because before we fast forward to Festival Queen, I recognized that everybody loved your talent in the competition. And I think that other than you being very articulate and poised, that's what gave you most points because everybody really loved that. So were you always a person that's involved in cultural activities?
Yes, I was. When I was younger, even up to this day, people used to make this comparison that, Miss Lou and I are very similar. At first I thought it was because I'm big and Miss Lou is big. So I'm like, oh, just put her over there. So, but I was always a Miss Lou, fan and also a Miss Lou protege in her own way,
I love Miss Lou.
As
a
Miss
matter
Lou.
of fact,
Tell
I'm
me.
telling Miss Lou's story. Me the thing say my mother was Miss Lou.
Yeah?
So my mother kind of looked like Miss Lou and we did have the Miss Lou book on my yard.
Yes.
And my sister tell me my mother is really Miss Lou, but true, she don't want me show off at school. She never tell me because she knows some mother tell people. I mean, still go to school to tell people say my mother Miss Lou.
Listen, I'm going to give you a next story on top of that. But it is my grandmother, Miss Lou.
Okay.
Oh my God. My grandmother's name is Miss Lou. Yes?
Okay.
And I made the stupid mistake that I only one Miss Lou in the world.
So it must be
and
your grandmother.
It must be my grandmother.
And it must be my mother.
All right.
So
look at us there, right?
Okay.
So me tell everybody, say Miss Lou, I'm a grandmother, Until me did get little sense and realize, say, oh, that's not Miss Lou. Miss Lou, there's a next Miss Lou,
Okay.
So Miss Lou was, I really did look up to that woman, and my school kind of pushed me in the position to express myself in terms of a cultural space. So we had our Jamaica Day, our different events, and always over and over again, I was doing some sort of performance. My school was also the one that pushed me into public speaking too. From as early as 4-H days, I was doing public speaking. I remember when I won at 4-H to represent Westmoreland, because that time my school that I attended at primary school was in Westmoreland.
Okay.
So I represented Westmoreland at public speaking on the 4-H level against high schoolers and everything. And it's a girl in a primary school that she come do her thing too. And also, I remember that my school was also the one that brought up my writing abilities, So I will always say to people that my first time realizing that I could actually express myself through writing, I was in grade 6. And my teacher said we're all supposed to write a poem about a pet. Everybody write about Enfield Primary and Infant School in Westmoreland. Big up Enfield, always. So my poem was supposed to, everybody write about dog and cat, because a dog and cat we really know. But me want to write about my rabbit, my bunny. And I remember saying,
a bunny for you?
Not a bunny. But everybody know how bunny. Everybody know how bunny look. But me say, I want a bunny. Everybody go get them dog and cat. I wanted a bunny. I remember saying it to so in our classroom, it's 2 persons to a bench. We don't have desks. And I said it to the person who sitting beside me, say, "Me grab one rabbit, look what me have on my poem." And they laugh at me, and I touch the person in front of them, and they show them my poem, and everybody laughed at me. And I say, you know what, I'm still going to write the poem, business. Wrote the poem, gave it to my teacher, and when she was marking the poem, she called me. And me feel like somebody I go get licked, because why she call me? And she's like, "You write this?" I'm say, "Yes, miss." And she said, "Me I go write it upon catch and put in a classroom, and the class I go recite it." What? And I will never forget the first 2 lines or first 4 lines.
Say it for me.
I am a bunny. My master calls me Fluffy. She puts me in a cage to keep me warm and cuddly. So that was my poem. And from there, someone said, "Oh, so I can write a little bit." I must say though, as time progressed, I realized that my mother was a writer, because I've been doing pageants, medal pageants from primary school. And my mother wrote our plays, our talent pieces. And as time progressed, when I said, this woman is a
Did she write a talent piece for festival? Okay?
No, she didn't write a talent piece.
Because then would have to say you have to make your mother wear the crown.
But she vet that, because she never liked that it could have gone. So my mommy wrote our pieces, and I realized that when I was doing my first talent piece at a primary school level, my mother made the conversation about my weight. So she addressed the weight matter, and she used it for putting at the talent piece and move along with it. And I loved that. Right. Because from this, my mother kind of made me realize, say, people can't laugh boy and talk about your weight if you don't point it out. Right. So how I am is, any speech, anything I'm doing, the first thing I'm going to say is, it's obvious I'm big. Let's get out of the way. And let's move on. This is what we're going to do.
But when you and I were having a conversation during high school, because you went to Hampton, and you always said that Hampton was a place that really helped you to grow.
Absolutely.
It was your safe space. But outside of Hampton, in high school, was not so safe.
It was not so safe at all.
That.
So I went to Hampton School in St. Elizabeth. That's an all-girls school. And the thing about all-girls school is you become very comfortable in that space, because girls forget or girls get bored very easily.
Big up to St. Hilda's.
Big up to
that's SZN High.
Listener, man.
For girls.
All right.
In Brownstown.
Oh my God.
St. Anne.
Easy enough.
Okay.
So when I started Hampton in first form, the first day or the first couple days when we had to go to the cafeteria, I never wanted to go to the cafeteria. I had to beg someone to buy something for me, because I felt like the bigger girls were looking at me and they were pointing my laugh, and I said, but I'm big girl there. And I could not take unnecessary negative eyes on me. I could not do well with it. And it kind of lower me to the point where every time I went up there, my heart start beat, I water start coming in my eye, because I don't know what to expect. So I used to ask my classmates to go to, okay, buy something for me. There was a next plus size girl in my class as well, and she had it rough as well. And I remember because she also did the same things I did. And so Hampton...
And this is asking people to buy food for you, not really coming out of class.
I will now come out of classroom for joke. You understand me? So what had happened was, in that space, after probably the first 2 weeks of school, everybody was done with the big girl. Like, yeah, there's a big girl in first one. We get that, move on. And so I had that opportunity to kind of like be myself at Hampton without worrying about what people have to say about my weight, because it was old news. Yes, she big and so on. And I loved that about my high school. And it gave me the opportunity to participate in clubs and societies, be a drama girl, be an outgoing girl, do Gary, do revival, all these things, because guess what? My school is a safe haven and I loved it.
I mean, I know if the picking of them nowadays know about Gary though.
I don't know what's, but
we have to show
JCDC is
them
working. We have to do the look. Yeah, have to show them. But what happened was, my safe space only lasted from 7:45 to 2:30, 3:30, because we have clubs and society. At 3:30, the buses from Monroe would start to come over to Hampton.
Oh, the boys.
Yeah, the boys would come over. So the buses had boys and girls traveling. And immediately I disappeared. I'm not coming outside.
Where you disappeared to?
Look here, I'm going to send them a classroom. Sometimes my bus are weird for me whole land, and my bus are the last bus will leave the actual compound, because I'm very adamant that nobody now see me if you laugh at me. So I used to sit in my classroom and wait until the other buses that had males left. And then how we work at Hampton School is, you might have homework and so you're going to stop in the main street towns in St. Elizabeth, or rather Black River, Santa Cruz, something like that. I could need something to save my life.
You're not coming off that
I
bus?
am not coming off that bus. I was so afraid of giving people the opportunity to point and say something about me that I would rather just do without it. So even in the early mornings when I needed something for like a project or an assignment, I am going to do without it unless it's Saturday and we can put on regular clothes and nobody knows who I am and I can get it, or a Sunday. In the evening, I might need to go to extra lesson. I beg my bus driver to go directly in front of the school so we can come out. So that was School of Excellence.
But did this give you anxiety?
It did. And I didn't realize until I got older to understand these type of experiences that people have in terms of anxiety and breakdowns and panic attacks, to realize that that was what I was going through. So immediately when we hit the towns, my heart start pace. I'm jittery. I can't manage. Like my eyes start welling up because I don't know what is going to happen today. I don't know who goes see me and what am I going to say. And this is not out of guessing. This is full experiences that I've had where people would constantly say the worst of the worst to me. And the thing about it is, when you are going through a town where other high school students are, who are not necessarily from Hampton or by extension Monroe, it can go so terribly wrong because they have no filter about what they will say to you. And you might show off and be like, oh, I can manage this and so, but it tears you. And it tore me so much for like my first 2-3 years at Hampton that I didn't risk it. I never risked it, no matter what. So from first one going all the way back to lower six, unless it was utmost emergency and I would have to be coming off the bus and stepping directly wherever I need to go, I am not coming off my bus.
And having gone through that though, there was a breakthrough in upper six, right?
Yes.
So you came to an event in Kingston.
I came to an event in Kingston. So
tell me.
They have this thing in Kingston where schools across America would come, universities and colleges would come and put out their brochures and, recruit people. And my institution would have selected a number of girls to go, and I was amongst them. Never need to go, because I need to go to school of foreign, but
a
free
trip
free
to Kingston? What? High school and sovereign Africa?
Listen,
what
man. So, we go and you put on your best uniform, you put on everything, you're ready to go up on a trip.
Early in the morning.
Early.
Yeah, man.
When we are travel, go out town, I'm at my high, me good, me I listen music, everything. When we hit, I think it was at Spanish Court tent, they had a tent. I think it was some Spanish tent or whatever. When we hit the place and I opened the tent and realized it's filled with students across Jamaica, I started panicking. I was like, this is not what I expected. I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. I found a chair in a corner. We sit on that kind of the entire day.
This people them good trip, Omolora?
Good trip. This is about 4-5 hours, me just sit down. Me nah move. Me nah budge.
The whole time?
The whole time. I did not pick up a brochure. I cannot tell you an institution that was there. I fully shut down. Couldn't matter. Me never want nobody look at me, never want nobody send them to me. I sat there for the 4 to 5 hours.
Wow. And then what happened?
Then we got sovereign.
Of course I forgot sovereign. From your
And
trip from country, come at town.
me have to go to Sovereign. Oh, you reach at town, I'm gonna go to Sovereign. So I went to Sovereign, and the bus parked at Sovereign, and everybody come off of the bus. Me nah budge, me nah move.
But aren't you hungry?
Me hungry so till me
Hungry kill you.
Me a dead white squall kill me. But I'm not moving. I would not move for the life of me. So everybody gone buy them food, and here I am waiting because I'm not coming off the bus. My teacher came. Her name is Claudia Samuda. She died last year. That woman was my rock, to be honest. And Claudia came up to me and she was like, "You're not coming off the bus, sweet girl." And I said, "No, miss, I'm not hungry." She's like, "You're too lie. When you're hungry, come me hungry." I'm like, "Miss, I'm okay." And she said, "I know something is happening here that you are not ready to talk about. Something is going on, but I want you to know it's okay. Because beyond all of that, you're still Omolora. You're still an amazing person. So I know what is happening. I have seen it before, and I'm letting you know it's okay." She took my money and she went to buy my food.
You still never come off of the bus?
Still never come off of the bus. She could have okay till that kingdom come. Me nah budge. But she was really actually that turning point for me, because as I navigated through opposites, because I was head girl at that time and so, she kept saying to me, "You're going to miss out on so many opportunities for people to see who you are because you're worried about something that you cannot change in the blink of an eye. You cannot change that."
But you know what is interesting about his story though, Omolora, is that even though you were recluse in some ways, you are still holding leadership positions, which means that people around you saw that light in you and that leadership quality.
I did.
So it was two things that was going on.
Two things, man. That's why I said, like, Hampton will always be I will always be forever grateful for my experience at Hampton, because they pulled me out of my shell. And within my institution, I was a star. When you go there today and mention my name, like,
your name Good Road.
Good Road. My little sister didn't know she had a pressure because she never came up to Omolora, you know. But like, but Omolora on the outside, like, you can't know who this girl is because you'll never see this girl.
Right. Outside of the school activities.
Outside of the school activity. No. But Claus was the one who pushed me to the point where, like, one day we had devotion at sixth form, and she said to the girls that, you know, who is like a confident girl that, you know, and they're like, Omolora. And she's like, you know, Omolora has a story to tell you. And I came up and I explained to them everything that I was going through. And everybody was shocked because I said, there's no way this girl who is in our space was shine like this is actually going through that.
So this is where you were honest with everybody at school.
This is where I kind of break. Yes,
okay.
I let them know the truth that this is what you see here outside. It's a battle. And I think that also gave them the opportunity to be more open-minded about what plus-size girls go through in this world. And I had a lot of plus-size girls coming to me and saying, like, you know, girl, I also have a similar story. I just didn't know anybody was out there who'd get me.
Who felt the same thing.
Who felt the same way. And so seeing you going through that, I know that nothing is wrong with me. I'm only human.
Right.
And Claus was the one who pushed me to kind of sign up for national organizations. So little after that, I signed up for Jamaica Prefects Association, and I became vice president for Region 5 at St. Elizabeth and Manchester. And I asked God if Region 5 wasn't the it region. When you hear about Region 5, you know, said that the region, they're
vibrancy.
Loud and proud. And I started hosting events. I started meeting politicians and ministers and everything. I remember my first minister that I met was Minister Turlon, and he was in charge of education at that time, youth and information state minister, and he kind of just pushed and said, like, Omolora, go out there, do you, girl, be you. And I was so grateful for that turnaround, because it propelled me coming into the university being a lot more positive and confident about who I am as a person.
Right. So we're at university now.
Yes.
University of the West Indies.
Yes.
Your place to shine.
Yes.
Mona campus.
Of course.
And you're guild president.
Yes.
So Twice, because it was COVID too, so it was a little longer, or did you go both times?
I went both times. So I created history. The first woman to ever be elected
so
twice.
You couldn't just stay 1 year? You did have more things to do?
Too nice if we do it twice.
Okay, so you're guild president, which now means that, again, you've put yourself out there, because this time is a whole regional institution, and you have to actually beg people to vote for you based on the ideas and the vision that you would have for the guild.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience, because this is when you jump up and down to Skillybanks and I go on with yourself.
So let me tell you, right before I ran for guild president, I was so sorry. And doing that campaign was when I realized that as much as I think university students are mature to see beyond their size, some are just ignorant. That's just the truth. When I ran for deputy hall chair, I had no issues. I was good. When I ran for Soul Sire rep, I put on my nice orange and black and my pretty and gold. And I remember the first time I launched my picture and somebody commented in the group and said, Omolora cannot lose, but she needs to focus on losing something else. And somebody said, not true, they pawned them and they laughed about it. And they said, of course we have to support Omolora. She's literally the biggest candidate. It was so bad.
Wow, all the puns.
It was so
and
bad. It was like all the
audacity.
chase at me. I said, well, I'm going to. And I remember how much I shut down because I was like, I thought we were done with this. I wanted to pull out of the race so badly because I felt like it moved away from Omolora being a capable candidate to everybody just focusing on how big Omolora was. And that's why I say I'm so glad that there are people in this world who can see beyond their size, because I had a lot of people supporting me who went and like lashed them back and said like, that's not important. This is the girl and this is who we're voting for. When I was running for guild president, that experience running for Soul Sire did haunt me a lot. And I was very much afraid about the image that I'm going to put on my campaign graphics. So I'm going to look. Do I need to ask them to edit me a little bit and things like that? But what I've come to realize is you can't catfish people because you're going to meet them one day.
You have to meet them.
You just have
And
to
the
be
university
yourself.
campus big, but in a that big.
In a that big.
Right.
So I literally just had to hone who I am as a person, love who I was as a person, and push that as part of my campaign tactics. And I'm comfortable with who I am, and that is why I'm the best candidate, because I'm okay with myself, which means I'm okay with you. Your problems are my problems because I completely understand what it means to be at a low point.
Right.
And students gravitated to that. They loved that. They love who I was as a person. They love the fact that I was very much relatable. So, I have to see Omolora and be like, oh my God, that's Omolora. That's the president. We're going to say, oh, see Omolora, that's a girl. I wanted students to have that sense of reassurance when they see me and when they communicate with me. And also it gave me the opportunity to understand their issues. So when I reach a university level to actually advocate for them, I know exactly what I'm advocating for, who I'm advocating for. It was not an easy journey.
Right.
Being a female guild president, it's difficult. I won't lie to you. You could have been the best of the best. Somebody there, more than likely a male, is going to think they can do a better job. And 9 out of 10 times, it's always going to be a power struggle.
Right.
And so I had a lot of power struggles in my first year trying to get myself to be taken serious as the president. I'm the president. This is what I say. Can we work with this? No, I don't think we should work with that. And everybody be like, yeah, him said don't work with that, so let's not work with it. It was a big stress for me. And I literally had to get myself together for my second run to know that I have as much say here than anybody else, whether or not whatever is going on down here, woman or man. I'm still just as worthy as a leader than anybody else. So when I went in my second year, I put my foot down. The way I expressed myself, I was very serious. When I networked for myself and my students above all. So when you see me, I jump up and I balance.
It was part of the whole plan.
Yeah, me want people to say university students are just as good as anybody else. Can we come there, fight against some people? When me look and see how also people them get athletes and me pick up 3 people, come back, go play a ball. But I wanted them to see that, listen, you have just as right to be in any space as anybody else. Yes.
So as we take that now, being in any space, when I met you at that time, they kept telling me I needed to be in my band.
Yeah.
And so that's how we kind of started to talk, because I told you that I wanted to be in my section for Yard Mass Carnival, and it was diamonds. And so you were my Broadtail diamond, and you already wanted to do it.
Yes.
So we had a very good experience with that. And when you posted your picture of yourself in my costume, I think it's a record amount of likes. It was thousands of likes that was coming in, and we all had a good day. You inspired so many people. But then fast forward to Festival Queen.
Yes.
One day you called me and you were saying to me that you were wanting to go for Festival Queen, but you were having an issue. Tell us about the issue.
So, Festival, when I was doing Parish Festival Queen, one of the issues that, some persons brought to my attention is, you're not going to win and they don't think you would be the best person because of your carnival experience. As a little shock, I was like, which carnival experience? 1 year me go at carnival, so what are you talking about? And like, you had a picture up, you need to take down that picture, you need to take down any picture that comes off as raunchy or going as. I was like,
by the way, let us just say that the photo was her posing in the carnival costume. She was not dancing or anything. She just stood there in the costume.
Yeah. So some people had some issues with it. And I was like, but the costume isn't even skimpy. It's just a simple costume. And then, of course, there was a solid discussion about whether or not you want to actually go for Festival Queen for St. Elizabeth or you want to keep that life. And I really felt it was probably one of the biggest pressures I've ever gone through because in myself I was saying, I have always been an outgoing person who's proud of who I am as a person. I always say to people that Rome is not built in one day. If I could blink and lose weight, would have slim and trim long time. But I can't. But that does not restrict me from enjoying myself as anybody else in this world. And I'm a very modest person. I've always been modest, but your idea of modesty and my idea of modesty may differ, and that is okay. And on top of that, I felt as if when I posted that picture, because even posting that picture, I was very nervous. Come here, I said, Jesus face, this guy either go extremely well or extremely bad. And I posted a picture and safe to say it went extremely well. I got a lot of persons reaching out and saying, I'm going to Carnival next year because I really saw that you can enjoy yourself just like anybody else.
At any size.
Yes, and people reach out and say, girl, you can't, when we're ready, we are going to go to Miami Carnival. And I said, no.
We're not reach out Miami
yet. We're not interested yet, but check me next year on the road and we'll see what I got, And so then turn around and archive that picture on the basis that I was afraid of like being singled out of a competition. I started questioning, who are you as a person? Because that to me is a hypocritical move.
Right. So in the conversations that we had, when you asked me, because you called me and you asked me what were you supposed to do, what were you supposed to do? And I didn't tell you what to do. I told you that, it's a very inspiration. If you go back and look at the comments, go back to the picture, look at the comments at what all the persons said, and you make a decision. And what was your decision?
I kept it up. Okay. I was like, like when I look at it, I was like, there's so many persons who really actually benefited from this picture. I'm not doing anything that is out of the blue that degrades anything about me as a person or anybody at that. And I'm really actually enjoying myself. And as far as I'm concerned, I consider it to be a part of culture. I took it a step further. I reached out to some people from other arms of even the organization because the persons who came to me, like, I said, boy, which way to not have your son? Me want to know because so I really saw, and they're like, this is kind of a cultural aspect of it. There's nothing wrong.
It's also marketed in our country as a cultural event.
So I was very shocked about it. So I kept it up. And when I went through the competition at St. Elizabeth, I was so worried because I can literally just lose because of this picture, but I'm not taking down that picture because I am who I am, and this is who I've always pushed myself as unapologetic about who I am. When I archive that picture, when I delete that picture, what does that say to all the persons who've been looking up to me as a plus-size girl to say, Omolora is doing what many plus-size girls wish they could do?
Right.
What does that say if I remove it? Or I just align to whatever society thinks is right for a plus-size woman to do. And I'm not the type to do that, you know?
So now you went to the competition. You won in St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
You won the national competition.
Yes.
And I think I was probably the first one to start screaming down the place about the first Broadtail Festival Queen. I know you're in a new role, which is on a national level once again.
Yes.
But this time culturally and not academically.
Right.
And so there's a even more multifaceted role for you to play because your body again comes into play about what you look like. And how has that been with months of being in the competition?
To be honest, winning Festival Queen did just as much, if not more, to just like how it was when I posted my picture. A lot of young girls became influenced by the fact that you deserve to take up space. I don't know where I haven't been, where persons have not looked at me and said, you're the Festival Queen, you're a representation of a Jamaican woman. unapologetic about her imperfections, but thrive throughout her imperfections. And I always say to people that, as big as I am, that doesn't stop me from doing nothing. And I think that is what a lot of people are relying on, to see that part of our culture being reflected. Not just what is considered pretty for the screen, but what is really and truly the epitome of a Jamaican woman.
Right.
And I have always been a cultural person. I wrote my talent piece. I remember writing my talent piece. When I sat down, I was on my bus. It was a deadline to submit talent piece at Parish. I was in my bus, and like me and my friend up on the phone, and I said, nothing is sticky. And I said, at this point, where number for cash back be for salt? As she said, girl, me not know you have to go play cash back. And I literally said to her, I said, me so call you back. And Driver was playing on the Knoxford. I travel last night. Driver played by Knoxford, and that's why I wrote my talent piece in the Knoxford bus on my way to competition. I've always been a lover of the performing arts, and so even since I've turned festival queen, I'm always performing with the dubs. I'm now hosting. I'm doing workshops. I'm doing public speaking with girls, and whatever I'm doing, I'm bringing a part of myself, not just as a plus size girl, but a culturally aware girl. Someone who knows how our Jamaican world operates for girls and women more so than anybody else. Love them and them, love them. But for girls and women, definitely. And how important it is for you to bring them or navigate them through our culture, good and bad.
Right.
And so I've been doing that, and I'm hoping to do so much more. It's way past networking now, and more so representing what it means to be a Jamaican woman. And I'm taking every step of this journey, and I'm taking it, and I'm proud of it. I'm not taking it for granted, because it goes so quickly. It's a year.
Yeah, it's a year, and it goes so quickly. And for any girl or woman who is currently in a position where, whether it be body issues or emotional issues that's happening, that they feel as if they want to stay on that bus that you were on in high school, they want to stay in that corner that you were when you came to the event in Kingston, or they just don't want to be seen. Based on where you are on your own journey now, what would you say to them?
There's a mantra I now live by in life. My mind is my greatest influence. I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I will. There's nothing more powerful in this world than your mind. Shockingly, no matter what anybody else in this world will say, whatever your mind is thinking, that is what's going to happen. So if you think you have the ability to do great things, you have the ability to do great things. And if you have the ability to do great things, you're going to do great things. So allow this journey to be what it is. Rome was not built in one day. It's a step-by-step process. I will not tell you that things will get better tomorrow. Things are still going on for me today. But what is important is that you redirect your mind, you get your mind in check, and you remember that in this world, you are just as valuable as anybody else, and you deserve to take up space. So allow your mind to be your greatest influence.
All right, I'll kiss them, guys. The viewers even got a kiss.
Of course.
Now, because you've been so inspirational and just a great person that I have met, our friends at CPJ through the Grey Goose Essences brand have some gifts for you. And I threw in some things myself.
I can hear it.
Yeah, man. So you have your strawberry Grey Goose, because I know you like the strawberry.
Yes, I do.
Yes, and you have a nice glass in there as well. You have affirmation cards in there. And you have, yes, you do, the Being Broadtail affirmation cards for women.
Okay.
And you also have a gift voucher from Morgan Street, because with skin having nice and glow.
Tell them about
and
it.
Stay good, right?
Listen now.
Right. So this is your gift. Thank you for being so inspirational.
I'm gonna show the camera.
Also, we've had a little magic trick that we do on Being Broadtail. Okay. So in season 2, we launched our Being Broadtail affirmation cards for women. And I usually have my guests pick one at random. And we see if the magic works, or whatever you pick either aligns with something you're going through now or something that you have said. Right? So I get to look at it, but you don't get to look at it. You don't get to see which one you're picking. So pick one. Anyone. You read it.
Okay. So it says, I admire the abstract art imprinted on my body that reminds me of my body's amazing ability to stretch. Okay, yeah.
Yeah?
Right there.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
So for that one, when I was conceptualizing that card, I know that stretch marks was a thing that women we always talk about. Whether we're fat, skinny, or in between, we have stretch marks because we grow.
Yes.
And it's one of the things that we don't like. But those marks are an indication that not only my body, but my mind, my life is able to expand. And we should really just embrace it. All right. So thank you, Omolora. And then finally, you just left university. You just have started playing your working world.
Yes.
This is my ZZ plant right here.
Okay.
And my plant is from East Africa.
Okay.
It originated from East Africa. And when you're around it, when you touch it, it says it's going to bring money to you.
Okay.
And become aware you have some money, become aware of house and land and care. I forgot about down and St. Elizabeth with. And we need to give my ZZ plants a little touch. Just touch it up a little bit.
I'm going to touch that.
Yeah, man. Get a little money. Get a little fortune.
Bless me.
And finally, because I know we have the same energy.
Of course.
People always say that. Posing is one of the things that I love to do.
Okay.
And I know you love to do it too. Worse now you have to when you have to pose.
Listen, man.
So we're going to have a pose off.
Okay.
And our guests or viewers are going to let us know who win the pose off when we post in the comments. All right?
I'm going to do that.
So let's do this.
Okay.
Calm down yourself, baby. Baby. Calm down yourself. My type. Calm, baby.
The weeks are flying fast, but based on your responses online, I know the conversations are fun. I want to thank my listeners and viewers for tuning in to another episode of Being Broadtail. Omolora's spirit and vibe reminded us that being Broadtail is more than enough. Next week, we're going to have another guest who will share with us their confidence journey. So see you next week. Same time, same place, with the spirited essence of Grey Goose on Being Broadtail. Being Broadtail is brought to you by CPJ, distributors of Grey Goose Essences, the Harry J Recording Studio, Broad Axe Communications, 1010 Events and Rentals, and Morgan's Creek.